Buenos dias, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. We're coming to you with the third game of the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño, pardon me, where Guánica and Naguabo have each won one game. Guánica won a nail biter in game 2 by the score of 7-6, while Naguabo won game 1 4-2. Both teams are sending out their third starting pitchers for the night. And boy, it's a matchup. Tomás Pérez, the unproven, somewhat wild number 3 pitcher of the Naguabo rotation, against former excelentísimo lefty Eunosto Gutierrez for Guánica. One of the biggest reasons, not only that the Amigos are here and have been here, but also one of the reasons they've been able to overcome the fact that they don't have a very good offense. Gutierrez's pitching has kept them in games where maybe otherwise it would be a little bit difficult for them to see the way forward. Tomás Pérez sitting on 30 and a third innings pitched. He's sitting on a 1.19. He's given up his share of walks, but he's won 2 of his 3 decisions in the postseason, and he's hoping to give his team some length today. As we look at the data, the attendance on this rainy 28-degree day with the wind blowing out to center is just 2,300. We'll read the starting lineups, have our first pitch in just a bit. As always, for these solo broadcasts, these are commercial-free baseball games, so we begin. The starting lineup for the Amigos de Guánica today, leading off and playing third base, number 44, Sebastián Martín. Batting second and playing first base, number 23, Mario Franco. Batting third and catching, number 1, Justino Garza. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 86, Emmanuel Vargas. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 25, Cern Larson. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 42, Miguel Ramirez. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 4, Billy Hamilton. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 14, Eleuterio de la Cruz. Which means, by the way, that shortstop Julio Casado must have been a little bit more seriously injured than we feared. And batting ninth and playing center field, number 24, Osmundo Mercado. Meanwhile, for the Navegadores de Naguabo, they're rolling with almost the same lineup as they've had this whole time. A couple of moves to account for the lefty starting pitcher. But nonetheless, leading off and playing center field, number 27, Graham Ham Underwood. Batting second and playing first base, number 16, Rob the Grackle Feaster. Batting third and playing left field, number 55, Jake Getman, the Tank from Frank. Batting fourth and catching, number 17, Pablo Rodillon Salmeron. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 4, Etaoin Sherdlu. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 56, Frank Diablo Rojo del Castillo. And excuse me, I forgot to mention Etaoin Sherdlu, also known as the Font of Wisdom. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 23, Kim Min Soo, a.k.a. Tronchabates. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 6, Benigno Benji Valdez. And batting ninth and playing third base, Wally, number 11, Wally the Human Ripcord Bach. Tonight, pitching for the Navegadores, number 42, Tomás Pérez, the Dominican pitcher, is 2-1 in the course of the postseason, 30 and a third innings pitched, 27 strikeouts to 9 walks, ERA of 1.19. Perez has a slider, curveball, forkball, changeup, sinker, splitter, professor, and Marianne in his arsenal. He faces Martin, who is at a 5.64 OPS with 6 runs batted in, and as of Game 2, a successful steal. Let's get this game underway as we pan across La Timonera. This is the first series, as we mentioned on our broadcast Friday, where both teams, the Navegadores, this is the first series, the first national championship the Navegadores have been in where both teams have won a game. They got swept in 1903, they swept in 1904 and 1905, and Tomás Pérez gets a 4-pitch strikeout, 3 sinkers and a changeup. Here comes Mario Franco, 591 OPS with 6 runs batted in 8 steals with the bases empty and 1 out. Got to keep him off the base paths, but looks like that's not in the cards tonight as he takes that changeup for ball 4. Going nowhere near him. Perez doesn't tend to trust his stuff against power hitters like Franco. Here comes Justino Garza, OPS of 494, 7 runs batted in. Franco, I have to imagine, is going to try the steal here with second base open and just 1 out. And there we go. As they try to nail him at second, and despite the play-by-play saying that he's not much of a threat to run, he gets in there easily. So he'll be in scoring position on that strike 1. Perez now in a little bit of danger as the Amigos have proven very good at taking advantage of these situations. That is launched into the air, but Underwood has it in center field, and that's out number 2. And still on second for Emmanuel Vargas. And that OPS of 747 is no accident. You may remember that he sent the ball flying to dead center back in game 1, although certainly they lost that game. OPS of 747, like I mentioned, 311 average. No word on the color of his energy. 1 home run and 8 runs batted in with a man on second and 2 outs. Here we go. 0-2 count. Hopefully this will be a strikeout for Perez, and he nails him. Another changeup strikeout for Guánica to strand that runner. The Amigos get a walk, and that's Auk in the top of the first. Here in the bottom half of the frame, Eunosto Gutierrez, who is sitting at a 55 2/3 innings, 4 wins and 2 losses, ERA of 1.78, 37 strikeouts to 12 walks. He's got a slider, curveball, changeup, and sinker, and he is absolute murder against lefty batters, which, as famously the Navegadores, have the majority of their lineup composed of southpaws. So this should be interesting. Underwood is sitting at a 637 OPS, no home runs, 11 runs batted in, and 7 stolen bases. Let's see what he does here. 2-2 count. Gutierrez sat at a 1.50 ERA and struck out over 300 batters, and there goes Underwood. 6-pitch strikeout, all of them low in the zone, and he gets him on a low curveball. Here comes Rob Feaster, 652 OPS, 1 home run, and 9 runs batted in over the course of the postseason. 2-2 count. Feaster pops it up, he makes contact, and Garza runs up from home plate to get it. It's out number 2. They've spent a good amount of pitches, but they are getting nothing going, and here comes the one man who has faced Gutierrez before, and in fact has triple threes against him, Jake Getman. 675 OPS in the postseason, 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Let's see what he can do. 2 outs, bases empty. A 1-1 count. He hits it right to Eleuterio de la Cruz, who throws to first, and that is out number 1. We are through the first inning, neither team doing much of anything so far. As we head into the second, it's a scoreless tie. Perez, 13 pitches over that first inning. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. He faces Larson, Ramirez, and Hamilton. Larson is at a 691 OPS with 12 runs batted in. He had 246 during the year, batted in just 19 runs, and here he goes down swinging on the split finger fastball, down and away. Miguel Ramirez follows him, 473 OPS, 4 runs batted in. 1 out, bases empty. 1-0 count against him. Nails that one directly to Valdez. Big hop throw, and that is out number 2. Splitter once again, and here comes Billy Hamilton, an interesting signing for Guánica. Sitting at a 305 OPS in the postseason. Not great. No home runs, 4 runs batted in, and 1 steal. He played in just 44 games for Guánica this year and did fairly well in them. But the postseason has not been friendly to him. 1-0 count on Hamilton. And that is a rocket to center field over Underwood's head. And yet another unlikely hero for Guánica steps up there as he's in with a 2-out double. Hamilton using his speed to beat the throw into second. And there's the first hit of the game for Guánica. As he's able to nail that shot, Underwood picking the right route, but not quite timing the jump. And even though he releases the ball in plenty of time, Hamilton simply just beats him there. Here comes shortstop Eleuterio de la Cruz taking his first at-bats in the postseason, 1907. Man on second and 2 outs. Can he succeed here? It's a 3-1 count. De La Cruz launches it into the air. Underwood waiting for it, and he's got it. For the second inning in a row, Guánica strands a runner in scoring position, and the Naves able to get out of it. The heartsmen of the Navegadores lineup, Salmerón, Shirley, and De Castillo, will face Ernesto Gutierrez, who over that first inning threw 14 pitches to secure a strikeout. 2 lefties in this part, so it'll be dangerous for them. Let's see what they've got against Gutierrez here. Salmerón looks like he's going after the first pitch, and he hits it into the air. That's the first hit of the game for Naguabo. Line drive into right center. Hamilton pulls up early. Unsure if he can make the catch. And it lands. He'll be aboard with the first runner of the game. Here comes Shirley, 729 OPS, 10 runs batted in. He's come up in big moments for the Naves in the postseason. Let's see if he'll do it again. Man on first and no outs. The 0-1 count. Shirley to first base. They get the first out. Franco to second base, but no relay there, so it'll be a fielder's choice. Larson couldn't get the throw off in time, and Shirley will be on first with 1 out. Here comes De Castillo, 532 OPS, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. He did fine against lefties, although not much better than his overall average. Not expecting great things from this at-bat, but we'll see. 0-1 count for him as well. That is a pickoff, but Shirley is back in plenty of time to set up strike 2. Gutierrez here looking for the strikeout, but De Castillo, after falling behind 0-2, able to work a walk and put 2 on with 1 out. Here comes Kim Min-soo, 588 OPS, 3 home runs, and 6 runs batted in. He did not do well against lefties during the season, but he did very well at home, so let's see what wins out here. First pitch. Lands in the dirt, but Garza blocks it. Neither of the runners able to advance. 1-0 count. 2 on, 1 out. 1-2 count now. Kim frozen out on a changeup, and he sits down. 2 on and 2 outs for Benji Valdez. 614 OPS, no home runs, 11 runs batted in. Let's see if the longtime team captain for Naguabo can come through in the clutch here. 1-2 count. Hits that one into left center field, and it lands. It'll be a big hit there as it rolls all the way into center. And Benji Valdez, ay, Dios mío. Benji Valdez comes through in the clutch, hits a curveball into deep, deep left center field. Shirley and De Castillo with their wheels easily able to score on that, and the Navegadores are up 2-0 as Benji Valdez delivers the hit they've all been waiting for after the last game where the Naves were really unable to get those kinds of timely hits going except seemingly by luck. The fact that they took advantage here, and Ernesto Gutierrez, who's a great pitcher against lefties, unable to stop the bleeding in time. Let's take another look at that. Hits the curveball into left center. It caroms off the wall and forces 2 fielders to go running for it. Shirley and De Castillo home in plenty of time. And the 2-run triple puts Naguabo ahead. Next up, it's Wally Balk, OPS of 396, 3 runs batted in. Let's see if he can tack on another one before the inning is over. 3-1 count for Wally Balk. Hits that one, not quite in time. Sebastian Martin able to corral it, throw to first, and Balk is out. So it's the end of the second. The Navegadores are ahead 2-0, responding well to Guánica's first hit. They might regret not getting greedy there, but we'll see. On to the third. Tomás Pérez, 25 pitches over 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He will face Mercado, Martin, and Franco. Mercado is at a 754 OPS with 4 runs batted in and 4 steals during the postseason. 2-0 count here. Smashes it to Valdez. It's a rush throw, and it bounces off Feaster. So that'll be an error, and Mercado will be safe at first as the batting lineup turns over here in the top of the third. Martin struck out in the first inning. Let's see if Perez can get the cheap out he needs here. A double play ball would certainly be ideal, and of course the rain stops there. That is chopped to Sherdloo. He's got it, throws to second, and they somehow managed to get the out. A slider there crushed to him. He's able to throw it to Valdez in time. 1 out and a man on first for Mario Franco, who drew a walk last time he came up. 1-1 count. Franco to Balk, to Sherdloo, to Feaster, and it's a double play to end the inning. Beautiful around the horn there, twin killing. As Balk scoops it, throws to Sherdloo, and Sherdloo immediately turns and throws over the top. And the Navegadores get out of it easily. Tomás Pérez in control here as we go to the bottom of the third. Ernesto Gutierrez once again facing the top of the lineup. He's sitting at 38 pitches through 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Ham Underwood coming up. He struck out back in the first inning. Certainly he'll be looking for a bit of revenge here. He works a full count out of Gutierrez before striking out for the second time. This time on a sinker. A 6-pitch at-bat from Ham. And here comes Rob Feaster, who's 0 for 1 on the day. He popped up last time he came up, and here on the 2-2 count, dunks it into center field. The third hit from the Naves. It's a base hit, and Feaster on the base paths is always a dangerous individual. So here comes Getman, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Here's a pickoff attempt, and it's thrown away. Garza has to go get it. Feaster runs over to second on the pickoff error. Oof. That's a tough break when the guy can steal the base without you even trying, basically. See there, that was not credited as a stolen base for obvious reasons, but Getman now with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. 0-1 count. Getman sends it to Larson, who drops it. 2 back-to-back errors there. And they've got runners on the corners with 1 out. For Pablo Salmeron, who's already 1 for 1, he had that single back in the second. Let's see if he brings a run home here. He's just got to hit it into the outfield somehow. First pitch, Getman breaking for second, and this makes things even more interesting. Getman has his 6th steal of the postseason. Salmeron has 2 in scoring position and can hit to the right side of the field. Let's see what he'll do. 1-0 count. Salmeron rolls it right back to the pitcher. That's exactly what he couldn't do. They throw to first, and he's out. Cheap ground out to bring up Sherdloo, who's 0 for 1 on the day. 2 on and 2 outs here. Sherdloo reached on a fielder's choice and then came around to score. He's been doing quite well. We'll have to see if he can get the ball past the infield. 3-1 count. Not quite. Larson drops it again. Another error that will bring the run home. Feaster crosses the plate, and they've got runners on the corners with 2 outs. As that should have been the end of the inning, but Larson unable to hold on to the ball. By the end of this, they're going to be calling him the Clown Prince of Denmark. Here comes Frank de Castillo. He drew a walk last time he came up. 2-1 count from him. He hits it high and deep, but right into Billy Hamilton's glove out there. We are through 3. The Navegadores tack on another run. They are now up 3-0. As we head into the 4th inning, Perez at just 35 pitches, beginning to flag a little bit. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He'll face Garza, Vargas, and Larson. Garza, Vargas, and Larson. Garza is 0 for 1 on the day. 1-2 count for him. Garza launches it into the air. Underwood underneath it, and he's got it for out number 1. A forkball that time. Here comes Vargas, 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out back in the first inning, and he strikes out again here. Perez gets his 4th strikeout of the night as he faces Søren Larson, who's 0 for 1. 1-2 count. Larson sends it into left field. Big arc there. but Getman has it in plenty of time. Guánica goes down without much of a fight in the fourth, and the Navegadores remain ahead 3-0. In the bottom of the fourth, Kim, Valdez, and Bach will face Gutierrez, who is through 3 innings on 62 pitches, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. They've really been putting the pedal to the metal on him, which is pretty interesting there. Obviously, in the last inning, we saw how the Naves, or in the last game, we saw how the Amigos were able to get to the Naves pitcher, and here we're seeing something of the reverse as he faces the bottom of the lineup. Kim is 0 for 1. He struck out last time he came up with runners on first and second, and here, going after the first pitch, makes contact, but it's a can of corn over the infield, and De La Cruz leads the synchronized swimming out there as 2 other fielders who were nowhere near the ball treat this like it's a jump ball in the NBA. Here comes Benji Valdez, 1 for 1 with 2 runs batted in. He had that 2-run triple that started the scoring. 1 out, bases empty. Valdez also going after the first pitch. This is dangerous. If they started doing this thing where... Oh! What a beautiful catch from Mario Franco. Not a career first baseman, though he certainly played his share there, but he dives for it and corrals it on the ground. You can't even be mad at that. That would have been for sure a base hit, possibly even a double, and Onosto Gutierrez has so far thrown 2 pitches in this inning and gotten 2 outs. Here comes Wally Bach, who's 0 for 1. 2 outs, bases empty, and you cannot imagine him being much better. He was a ground ball out. This time he tries to go through the air, and it's very catchable in left field. Ramirez has it. Naguabo does the Amigos a favor and goes down pretty easily here in the fourth. They remain ahead 3-0. But if they've suddenly lost their bats, God knows for how long that'll be true. Perez, 4 innings pitched, 46 pitches here in the top of the fifth. 1 hit, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. He faces Ramirez, Hamilton, and De La Cruz. Ramirez is 0 for 1 on the day. 2-2 count here. Ramirez strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for Perez, but that took a lot out of his arm. 10 pitches to get that out. Several of which were fouls, of course. Every pitch between 4 and 8. And here comes Billy Hamilton, 1 for 1 on the day. The thing, too, with this, it's annoying because Perez is throwing mostly in the zone. He used to be known for being a bit wild, but he's actually doing his best to keep his command up, stay in the zone, and he is not really being rewarded for that. 3-1 count. And looks like our boy with a double held up there. And Billy Hamilton will be aboard. So far, he's proving himself the linchpin of the offense here. Here comes Eleuterio de la Cruz. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And first pitch to him, Hamilton tries to steal second, and he will be gunned down. Salmeron, who had a pretty bad run of luck getting runners out, finally gets another one, notches another one on his belt. And here comes De La Cruz. 1-0 count, 1-2 count. Does he strike out? He does. He's frozen on a sinker. Perez gets his 6th strikeout of the night. Guánica just gets the 1 walk. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. The top of the lineup once again. Ready to go against El Nostro Gutierrez. Boy, this is going to be a tough choice if we have to go for multi-inning relief. There are just not many guys that can do that. Francis Norman is certainly one option. And we're going to put, I guess, Bourgeois is another choice. Underwood, 0 for 2 against Gutierrez, who's sitting at 4 innings of 68 pitch ball, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Here goes Underwood, who's 0 for 2 on the day. And on the full count, he gets his first hit of the night. Up the middle, an easy little bouncer, and he makes it up. Ham putting that one through. He brings up Rob Feaster, who's 1 for 2. A 6-pitch at bat, so you can see the patience has paid off. He's been taking his time on these, and now let's see if he's rewarded for it. Man on first with no outs for the Grackle. First pitch. And Underwood will be nailed at second. His tells are just way too obvious. So it'll be bases empty with 1 out. 0-1 count. Feaster also working a full count. It's a bouncer to Martin, and he can't corral it, and neither can the fielder behind him. I've never seen that before. 3 different fielders going for the same ball, 2 of them diving, and none of them able to catch it. So he'll replace Underwood at first, and here comes Jake Getman, who's over 2. This could get interesting. Gutierrez now past 81 pitches. Well, at 81 pitches, past 80 pitches, I should say. As there's a rundown attempt, and once again, the Naves' base running is just absolutely atrocious. They've run themselves out into both outs in this inning, and here comes Getman, who's over 2. He hits that one, and that could have been a fielder's choice, could have been something interesting, but instead, this is a bad inning. Naguabo strands both of its base runners on the base paths, and they will be looking back at this inning with some measure of regret. So here goes nothing. Tomás Pérez. 5 innings, 66 pitches, 1 hit, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Faces Mercado, Martin, and Franco once again. Mercado is 0 for 1 on the day. 1-2 count, and he goes down swinging on a slider. Well done on an opposite hand batter, and he gets him out. That's out number 1. The bases remain empty for Sebastián Martín. Tomás Pérez now at 70 pitches. Got to start being careful. Martín is 0 for 2 on the day. But with a 2-2 count here, he strikes out. Strikeout number 8 for Tomás Pérez. And here comes Mario Franco, who's 0 for 1 on the day, plus a walk, if I remember correctly. A 2-2 count on Franco. And he strikes out the side. Tomás Pérez with a big-time 6th inning. Throwing out some really good pitches to end that one on a forkball, down and away. And he nails Mario Franco, freezes him out on the looking strikeout. So he's got 9 Ks on the night and may have just bought himself the 7th inning. Here comes Ernesto Gutierrez. 5 innings pitched, 82 pitches, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And he will face Pablo Salmerón, Etaoin Sherlou, and Frank Del Castillo. Salmerón got his first hit last time he came up. On the 1-1 count, Salmerón launches that one into the air. It's a big can of corn there for Larson, who's finally able to hold on to the damn ball there. Here comes Sherlou, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Can he do any better than that? On the 2-2 pitch, no he can't. He strikes out. And with 90 pitches on the line, Gutierrez, we're going to start bringing in our specialists just to make sure. Gutierrez will face Frank Del Castillo, who's 0 for 1 plus a walk on the day. 2 outs, bases empty. See, this is a bad inning because of the hitting, as Del Castillo hits that one into right field. It gets over Hamilton's head. Del Castillo will be on second. He's trying for third. They make the throw, and they choose to throw home. They don't think they can get him out. Del Castillo 2-out triple to extend the inning. We'll watch that again for sure. That could have been the inning over in a second, but Hamilton mistimes the jump. And when he catches it, has to make that relay in a hurry to the infield. Larson simply made the correct choice there, I think, as Del Castillo was already past halfway. So with 2 outs and a man on third, here comes Kim Min-soo. Can he bring in that run? Can he give them a 4-run lead here? That's the question. He works a full count. And he does! Kim Min-soo with a base hit, an RBI single, and the Navegadores are up 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. 7th base hit of the game. And in his first year as full-time designated hitter, Kim Min-soo puts across a base hit in the postseason, scores a run, and Gutierrez will now face Benji Valdez, who's 1 for 2 with 2 ribbies on the day. Beautiful at bat, too, hitting a slider away against a same-handed pitcher. Nicely done. That's the kind of batting we're hoping to see more of from Kim in the years to come. But here comes Valdez to try and add to his postseason legend. Does he? No, he strikes out, and we are through 6. Gutierrez gets his 5th strikeout, but not before the Navegadores pick up a run. It's the top of the 7th now, as the Navegadores are ahead 4-0. Pérez on 81 pitches over 6 innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts, will face Garza, Vargas, and Larza. Garza is 0 for 2 on the day. On the 2-2 count, Garza launches it into the air. Underwood, no problem at all. Confident little grab into the air, and he's got it out number 1. Here comes Vargas, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Vargas will work a full count and work the 3rd walk of the night for Tomás Pérez. And here comes Larson. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Pérez looking for that double play ball, but he gets his 10th strikeout instead. Beautifully done to bring up Miguel Ramirez, who's also 0 for 2 on the day. 2 outs and a man on first. 0-2 count. And Ramirez strikes out. Pérez has 11 Ks on the night. And we are into the bottom of the 7th. The Navegadores remain ahead 4-0 as Bach, Underwood, and Feaster get set to hit against Eunosto Gutierrez. Gutierrez has gotten through 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Bach is 0 for 2 on the night. Let's see if that changes here. 0-1 count for Wally Bach. Hits that one right to De La Cruz. He's got plenty of time to throw first, and that is out number 1. Top of the lineup comes up. Underwood is 1 for 3 on the day. Let's see what he'll do here. First pitch to him. Underwood tries to hit it over the shortstop's head, but De La Cruz right there. He grabs onto it. It's 2 outs and the base is empty. Another 1 pitch at bat. I guess he was due for one of those. He'd had very patient ABs up until now. And here comes Rob Feaster. 2 hits on the night and 3 at bats. 2 outs and the base is empty. And on the 1-0 count, Feaster launches it into left field. Should be catchable. And indeed it is. Ramirez has it, and we are through 7. Naguabo remains up 4-0. As Perez comes back out to face, let's see here, to face Hamilton, De La Cruz, and Mercado. Tomás Pérez had 99 pitches, starting to flag a little bit. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 3 walks, and 11 strikeouts. And we're going to let him keep going here because this is the bottom of the lineup. But Billy Hamilton has been a dangerous foe to face for him. He's gotten a hit and a walk. Let's see if Pérez can shut him down here before he turns things over to the pad. A 2-2 count for Hamilton. Finally gets him down, and Pérez gets his 12th strikeout of the night. Here comes Eleuterio De La Cruz, who's 0 for 2 on the day. De La Cruz works a full count and strikes out as well. Pérez has strikeout number 13 and has a shot at the postseason single-game strikeout record for the Naves, which would be 14 as he faces Osmundo Mercado. He's 0 for 2. Let's see if he can make it happen. A 3-1 count. Mercado launches it into the air, and that record will not be attained tonight as Getman gets the catch. The Amigos go down swinging, and we are into the bottom of the 8th. The Navegadores remain up 4-0. Eunosto Gutierrez, through 7 innings, 108 pitches, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, faces Jake Getman, who's 0 for 3. He will also face Salmeron and Sherdlu. Getman, a big part of the Navegadores offense this year, but he hasn't really shown up in the postseason so far. Until now. Jake Getman with a foghorn blast, and really a cheapo one, just 101 meters over the right field line, but he got that slider and he crushed it. Hamilton looked like he thought he might be able to catch it, but it slipped just over the wall there. And with the 5th home run in this postseason, he puts the Navegadores up 5-0. Let's take a look at the leaderboards. So right now, if we look at the postseason leaderboards, let's see here. Well, the most home runs anybody's hit in a single postseason is still 13. That was Joey Kroos in the 1905 postseason. But second place is now Jake Getman with 5. Here comes Pablo Salmeron. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Gutierrez, that slider is one he wishes he could take back. 1-1 count for Salmeron. He hits that one into left field, and he'll be on with his second hit of the night. So they're pouring it on against Gutierrez, as here comes Shirt Lou. And we'll wait on Norman, but we're going to use him in the top of the ninth, rather. Shirt Lou 0 for 3 on the night. 1-1 count. Unbelievably, that lands. Salmeron will be on second. And they've got 2 on with no outs on their 10th base hit. Here comes Frank De Castillo, who's 1 for 2. A 2-1 count. He hit a triple last time. And here with a bouncer to Larson, it's an infield hit. The bases are loaded with no outs for Augusto Gutierrez here, one of the all-time great pitchers, just being demolished in the national championship. And here comes Kim Min-soo. He's 1 for 3 with a ribby. He's already hit 3 home runs. Let's see what he can do. 2-0 count. He rolls to Larson. They get 1 out. Out of that, it'll be a fielder's choice, and Salmeron scores. The Navegadores are up 6-0 as they can't get the double play ball out. Runners still in the corners with 1 out for Benji Valdez, 1 for 3 on the night. 1-0 count. And Garza blocks it successfully. No one can advance. Full count to Valdez. Knocks it into right field. Hamilton has it. They should be able to tag Shirt Lou, and the Naves will be up 7-0 now. 2 outs and a man on first for the Naves, as they've scored 3 runs in this inning. And here comes Wally Balk, who's 0 for 3. Unlikely that they'd be able to move the runner, but stranger things have happened. 1-2 count for Wally Balk, and he strikes out to end the 8th. The Navegadores, 4 hits, 3 runs, one of which was that Jake Getman solo shot, and they are now ahead 7-0. Tomás Pérez will be replaced on the mound, now pitching for the Navegadores, number 76, Francis Norman. He will face Martin, Marco, and Garza. Martin is 0 for 3. Norman has not pitched in this postseason. He is a righty specialist with a fastball and slider. And I don't remember if he's actually ever pitched in the postseason, and the answer is that he has. He pitched 1/3 of an inning back in 1905. Let's see what he does here. A 2-2 count against Sebastián Martín. That one is knocked to Valdez. He's got it, throws to first, and that's out number 1. Here comes pinch hitter Ryan Higgins in the postseason. He's done very, very well indeed. 947 OPS, 5 runs batted in. He's been a key part of their bench as a switch-hitting pinch hitter. It's actually more of a shock why they don't use him in that spot, presumably so that he can stay in the catching role when they need him. Either way, Francis Norman about to prove his postseason legend here if he can get this guy out. With 1 out and the bases empty, Higgins is the one man he should be fearing. And for good reason. He gets that one past Valdez, and Higgins continues to be an absolute monster in the postseason. He'll be aboard with 1 out. Here comes Garza, his catching colleague, who's 0 for 3. This should be more normal now. Launched into center field. Underwood runs in to get it, and it's out number 2. By the way, that's just the second base hit they've allowed in this game, the Naves. And here comes Emmanuel Vargas, the DH. He's 0 for 2. This is where Norman needs to get this last out against the lefty, no less. The plan was to not give 1 up, but here goes nothing. 0-2 count. Vargas launches it into left field. Getman gets it on the bounce. And Norman's got men on first and second with 2 outs for Cern Larson, who's 0 for 3. 2 on and 2 outs. Norman trying to close out this game. Will he do it? 2-1 count. Larson knocks it right back to Norman, and the comebacker ends the ball game. Naguabo shuts out Guánica and takes a 2-1 lead in the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. Beautifully done there. Augusto Gutierrez takes his 3rd loss of the postseason. 8 innings pitched, 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which were earned. surprisingly. One walk and 6 strikeouts, giving up a homer, of course. Tomás Pérez gets his third win of the postseason. 8 innings pitched, 1 hit, 3 walks, and he came within one of tying the Navegadores postseason single game strikeout record, over 117 pitches. 8 scoreless innings, I might add, and then Francis Norman came in and shut the door. It may have been a little bit worrisome there as it took 17 pitches to do it, but he got it done. On the offensive side, we can certainly thank Frank de Castillo, Shirley, Salmeron, Getman, and Feaster, all of them putting across some vital runs there. And of course, we've got Benji Valdez and Min-Soo Kim bringing in 5 of those 7 runs. Great rebound game after the heartbreaker that was the 7-6 game 2. And here's hoping that when they go to play the next part of the series in Guánica, they take advantage of that park and they're able to really put together some offense because Guánica will be on their home turf and they are not going to be willing to lose at home. So we'll see you then. As always, this has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa for broadcast. Pardon me. As always, this has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en vivo. Gente, buenos días, gracias mil y Dios les bendiga.